And welcome to the Sports Roundtable. I'm Tom Lamont, your host. We continue to talk about high school football here on the Sports Roundtable. This week was shutouts was the name of the game this week in Friday Night Football in New Hanover County, with all four of our teams playing. And joining us first is the head coach of the New Hanover Wildcats, and Earl Smith. Congratulations on your win against Ashley, 37-0. Offensively, you started right out from the very beginning, first play from scrimmage on a big passing play. Defensively, you shut down Ashley from the get-go. I think they maybe got 2 yards rushing when the night was over. But penalties, 14 penalties against the Wildcats in this one. Your assessment of that game against the Screaming Eagles?
I think most of the penalties came in that stretch in the second quarter, right before the half. We were on a drive. We ended up, I think we got down to the 30, ended up almost back on our own 30, and it just we let our emotions get the best of us, and you know, you can't do that. The positives on it, you know, Wiz with his last catch there went over 1,000 yards in receiving for the year, and then Blake had he had 366 yards, so that put him over 2,000 yards for the year. So good stuff there. And of course, like what you said, the defense just played lights out, and just, you know, their running back Dames, we shut him down. He's a heck of an athlete, and was one of the top rushers in the league. So excited about that. Hopefully we can work on those penalties this week and focus on getting ready for North Brunswick.
Very good. Got a lot of highlights from this contest. Let's take a look at the Wildcats in their win against Ashley.
I think probably these first couple clips, the fans are going to get to see a sideline shot and an end zone shot. So here Nas Brown does a great job pursuing and gets us a tackle for loss. I think this was the first series they had it. And then you'll get to see it again from the end zone shot, which is pretty cool. It's really good for when we're grading our film for our line coaches, because you really get a good feel for it and can get a better grade, better angle.
Gives you a different perspective.
Exactly. Here you can see Nas from this end. Great pursuit by the whole defense. Actually fumbled the ball, but they got it back.
They try to go wide on you a lot during this game, but you were able to contain the sweeps.
Yes, they did. And Troy McCaskill and Josh Anderson, our two outside backers, did a great job. I think here's that score you were talking about. Our first one from Blake to his junior, Jalen Gore. He really had a heck of a night. He just powers it on in right there and scores.
First play from scrimmage, that really got you off to a good start.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. I say it every week. Blake keeps hitting who's open, and that's what makes it so effective. Here, Wiz gets a score. Actually, I'm sorry, you're gonna get it the end zone shot of the pass. Drops it right in there. This next score was Wiz on a sweep. We put him at halfback some this week, and really good job up front of blocking. You know, and he's sitting at close to almost 500 yards rushing, and, you know, on top of 1,000 yards passing. There's a sweep again from this angle. We've been missing one of our cornerbacks. Logan Santos has a high hamstring pull. He's going to be out one more week. He should be back for the Hoggard game. But here at left corner is junior Cam Newkirk. Fins off the block, comes up, makes tackle, and he's done a great job of filling in for him, for Santos, for the last 2 weeks. Again, here's the end zone shot. We do pursuit drill twice a week, and with our defense, and it's a conditioning type thing, and they all got to get to the ball every time.
Yeah, a lot of white jerseys out there. It's difficult for Ashley to do anything really on the ground.
Here's a sophomore running back, Jabez Howard. He's a special young man. He rips off about a 40-yarder here. Guy dives and tackling. He was pretty upset he didn't score, but still set up a score for us. I think it was our second or third score there. We were able to get up on them 30-0 at halftime. I think that helped us a bunch, even though we only scored 1 touchdown in the second half. There you can see again, nice cut and acceleration right here. Did a good job on our outside screens this week. Here's a bubble screen to Freddie Taylor. Excellent blocking up front by Cole Tanner right there, and then Wisdom at the end. They block for each other, and some of the best wide receiver blockers I've ever seen.
Great job again offensively. Let's talk about your defense. Obviously, you dominated. You were concerned about Ashley's running back in Thames, and you were able to contain him all night long. Their quarterback's been able to do some things as well offensively for them in the last couple of games. But from the get-go, you know, the Wildcats stymied them all night long. Defensively, you had a great game plan.
Absolutely. Coach Fuller, John Fuller, who's our defensive coordinator, had a great plan. And we just, you know, the good thing is we're not peaked out. We haven't peaked out yet, but we're continuing to get better as a group. And then a few of the guys that are filling in, some of the subs are really stepping up. So that's going to help us down the road with our depth in the playoffs.
You talked about the success offensively with Blake Walston, but you know, without that great offensive line doing a great job, and they did all night long protect him. He had very few plays where he had to scramble. A couple times he did, but he had a lot of time back there to find those open receivers.
Yeah, they continue to get better. You know, we've got the core of a couple seniors there in the middle, but those two tackles are young juniors, and hey, we're getting ready to play week number 10. So yeah, they're getting better every week. Had some holding penalties that hurt us in crucial times, but that's to be expected when you throw the ball as much as we do.
Up next for the Wildcats, you'll be hosting North Brunswick. It'll be senior night, a big night for your seniors and recognition. And North Brunswick, of course, a team that you're expected to beat, but you never know what happens in these kinds of games. So what do you think you'll be doing this week to prepare for them?
Well, I'm proud of our guys because we've had this stretch of teams that we should beat on paper, and we have. And you know, we shut 3 of them out. 2 of them we got running clocks, so they understand, and you know, they're not trying not to look past them to next week, the Hoggard game. But being senior night, it'll be a special night for them because it's very emotional for them.
All right, Coach. Congratulations on your win against Ashley. New Hanover wins 37-30. That was Earl Smith, the head coach of the New Hanover Wildcats. We'll be back with more of the Sports Roundtable right after this. You are watching the Sports Roundtable. I'm Tom Lamont, your host. We continue our discussion on high school football, and joining us now is the head coach of the Hoggard Vikings, Craig Underwood. Coach, congratulations on your 50-0 win over North Brunswick on the road this weekend. The Vikings now move to 9-0, 5-0 in the Mid-Eastern Conference, and again, a big night offensively, and your defense just shut them down. I think North Brunswick had maybe 24 yards offensively. So great night for the Vikes.
It really was. It was well done all around. Really proud of the way our guys showed up and executed. We started fast. We had 2 straight games where we started a little, just a little missed execution in the first quarter. And so to get back to what really has taken us to success so far this season of just 4 quarters of steady execution and defensive attack, great tackling. Thought we put all those things together Friday night, so it was a good night.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights for the Vikings in their win against North Brunswick.
Yeah, this is our actually first play from scrimmage defensively. This is sophomore Garrett Manning coming through, just a little unbalanced toss sweep there. He defeats a block and makes a great play. We got a 3-and-out there to start the game and get back on the offensive side. This is Trey Hauser. We're using Trey in multiple ways right now just because one is we've got some injuries, but 2, he's just such a weapon. He can catch the ball, run the ball, kick, return, all those things. He had a big night. This is one of, I want to say 5 touchbacks for Jeremiah Kim. So him putting the ball in the end zone is just to continue, it's just a weapon each week. This is Christian Holler, our Mike linebacker, getting into a little pass coverage. It was a great read. We worked on him picking up backs out of the backfield throughout the week, and he really did a good job answering there. This is him coming off and making a big play there as well. He and Nathan Brazell, Garrett Manning, those 3 linebackers had a big night. Getting on the kick return side of things, again, big night for special teams. We actually got a safety down at the other end, so this was them punting the ball, and Trey Hauser taking it back to the 50 for us. Their punter's got a great leg, so we still were able to get some good field position out of it. This is Josh Jones to Anthony Schiavone. Nice screen here. Great perimeter blocking by our receivers there. Really proud of those guys. They just continue to develop. Josh was 11 of 12 for 5 touchdowns. Just a huge night for him.
A lot of targets offensively.
Yeah, it
A
is.
lot of different receivers he was
spreading the
going.
football. A lot of guys touching it. Inside here, had to put this one on here because it's pretty much our whole defense getting in on the play for no gain. Great attack. just team defense. Here he is on the bootleg. This is Josh to Evan Manning. Again, good protection. The bootleg game, Coach Demick does a great job with that. And Josh he's really solid at executing it. John Bennett running the football helped set that up. So, again, really proud of those guys. Here's Trey again. There's a big run for Trey right here. Got out on the edge, really physical run, ran over a North Brunswick defender there, pushing on towards the end zone. So again, just a huge night for senior Trey Hauser. Really, really proud of him.
Yeah, finished with what, 161 yards?
He did, total yards. Yep. And then dumping it to Austin Edwards, great weapon for us at tight end. Austin's had a big year and just continues to work hard. Physical blocker and gets a reward with a touchdown right there. This is Isaiah Kemp coming off on a kickoff. Just a big hit. Isaiah has great speed, great weapon. He's got a couple scholarship offers already and just continues to get better as a junior defensive back for us. Doing some great things. This is Josh to CJ Pipkin. CJ, another one as well. Again, we've got really 5 great targets that he hits regularly, not counting what's in the backfield. So really, really pleased with those guys. Connecting with Anthony Schiavone again for his second touchdown reception. Anthony's got great hands. Really does a good job running routes, but then just making catches. We can really count on him and Pipkin, both those guys. They catch everything. This is Trey Hauser, just a nice little draw right up the gut.
Good blocking inside.
Yeah,
I noticed that on that running play and on these passing plays. Look at the time Josh has got to
no
throw.
doubt about it.
Great job by your offensive line.
That's it. Again, it starts with those seniors on the right side with Mason McKeithen and Donovan Simmons. But Dimitri Brown, another senior, he's our left tackle, has really come along. He had a good night Friday night. And then Bill Moore, actually a sophomore guard, and Wyatt Workman, junior center. Those two guys really got some great movement for us up front. Again, rallying to the football there. That was Nathan Frizzell over on the edge. And Cade Edwards. Again, you can just keep naming the names. That's how I know it was a good night, because many guys stepping up making plays.
Right, and defensively, a lot of plays where there was a lot of white jerseys on the play, so it was multiple tackles, multiple players involved in the tackle. So great job offensively, defensively. Your team now goes on the road again. You're now going to be playing at South Brunswick this week. What's the challenge look like for you?
Well, I'll tell you, again, just going up the road, a game that I think record-wise people expect us to win, but again, you see it every week. So I think just the challenge of showing up for every game, understanding the importance of execution right away, both sides of the ball, and continuing to win special teams, winning the turnover battle, the penalty margin, those things. That's where again we got to just continue to improve each week. And I think we got a good opportunity with South Brunswick this week. You
mentioned Trey Hauser stepping up and playing some different roles for you because you had some injuries. Injury-wise, what's it look like for the Vikings?
I'll tell you, we're fairly healthy. We're still a little banged up at running back, but those guys are working hard and hopefully be back on the field this Friday, but certainly working to get back in the mix.
Very good. Coach, congratulations on your win against North Brunswick, 50-0, and good luck against South Brunswick this week.
Thank you.
That's the head coach of the Hoggard Vikings, Craig Underwood, and we'll be back with more of the Sports Roundtable right after this. You are watching the Sports Roundtable. I'm Tom Lamont, your host, and we continue to talk about shutouts from this Friday night. And the Laney Buccaneers had their shutout, 36-0 over South Brunswick. And the head coach of the Buccaneers, Ashad Yeoman, joins us now. And coach, your team 5-4 now, 3-2 in the Mideastern. You're on a roll offensively, execution awesome for the Buccaneers. Defensively, you were very stingy on Friday night.
Oh yes, for sure. We had Monday and Tuesdays were some tough days for us. I really challenged the defense to, focus on their alignment and assignment. And we had a great Wednesday practice, and it showed on Friday night. And then, offensively, we did start a little bit slow. We actually had some things going early, but we ended up turning the ball over twice on 2 drives, and we had an opportunity to put the ball in the end zone. And that's something, again, that it's been a Achilles for us a little bit, and we've got to make sure that we get this thing shored up, especially if we want to, win these next 2 ball games or even try to make a playoff run if that's possible for us. So, but overall, I'm very proud of the kids, and they did a great job.
Very good. Well, we have a lot of Buccaneer highlights to take a look at. Let's look at this win for the Buccaneers this Friday night.
So we start out on the first drive, and there's Sherrod, coming up with a big, strong, dirty run. In the weight room, he misses quite a bit of time because he's trying to do some different things with the trainer, but you'd be surprised how strong naturally he is, and he's got a great body on him, man. Looking forward to seeing what he can do, especially in the offseason. And there's Kenwan Watkins. Got to give him a shout out because he was our homecoming king this past Friday night. So he had an awesome game. Had a block kick, fumble recovery on the kickoff return team, and had an opportunity to intercept the pass, but just couldn't get it. That's a great job by the defense. Again, we were talking about, that's one thing we pride ourselves in on is just checking into the football. And again, a great read by Sherrod on the option. Look at the vision on him. He does a little stop cut. Man, to see that kid in his peripheral, that's some excellent footwork there. And then you can't see it, but that's actually Joshua Belton. We had him on the show that day of our bye week, and he was talking about the receivers and the different footwork and whatnot. Great play for him. He's been working hard to get on the field and got his opportunity and took advantage of it. Just very proud of him. And that actually was a great play by Thomas Bradshaw. He had an excellent game all night long. He actually got our game ball at the end of the game. And then there's Sidbury hooking up with Alfahim Walcott. I mean, Sidbury's been doing a great job, in practice of working on the little things. We've got some little trash cans or whatever that we use to kind of work on his touch, and he's been doing well with that. And like I said in the paper, he's been very, very coachable. And then there's our homecoming king coming up with a big play for us, and then Sherrod with the option coming up to Matt Sims, another kid who's been working hard. He's been working on both sides of the ball for us, so very proud of the effort. And there's Sherrod finishing it off for us in the end zone. Very strong run. Again, like I said, in the offseason, just seeing him, work in that weight room, just see how much stronger he'll get. I'm very impressed with what he's going to have for next season. And then, again, the strength of Sherrod, we got to block that up better to break that tackle and then throw that thing deep. That's Micah Harrison, one of my seniors. Again, another kid who he struggled catching the football early, but it's come on pretty well and late in the season. I'm proud of the effort that he has there. And then, again, defensively, coming up with a big stop here. Again, Devon Shepard, he had a great night as well. He had been struggling. This is his first year playing varsity football, but the game's starting to slow down for him a little bit.
Wow. Just see that with all the Bucks in the backfield there very quickly.
Yes, sir.
A lot of blue on that defense.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things we love about, defense is just checking in again. And there's Alfahim. I mean, man, to see that and find that cut, find that hole, he does some amazing things. That catch that he caught earlier, that thing was actually over his head, so he was looking up, and it was almost like an outfielder catching a fly ball over his head. That's a great concentration by him. And Saquad Yeoman coming up with a huge stop in the goal line situation is, again, keeping those guys out. We held them up to a field goal, and then again, Kim Wan blocked the field goal to keep him off the board. And then there's Jason Billingsley with a nice read, breaking some tackles, finding some open space and just making something out of nothing. And that's not actually how we coach it up, but, again, players can sometimes make us right. And then there's Eusebio Benitez. Another hard-working kid. He works hard in the weight room, has a great attitude every single day. He brings his hard hat, and I just love the energy that he brings to the team. So giving him a little shout-out there. So,
offensively, you passed the ball well in this game. Again, your quarterback starting to feel a lot of confidence back there running. Your offensive line did a great job. A lot of really nice holes there offensively. So offensively, this is probably one of your best efforts so far.
Not too bad, not too bad. Again, we still have a lot of things to work on. We weren't blocking some things up right, but at the end of the day, the result is what we wanted in the win column at 36-0. Can't complain too much, but we still got a lot of work to do on both sides of the ball as well as special teams. So.
Now, the Buccaneers are known for your onside kicks. You get 2 more successful onside kicks in this one.
Yes, sir. And that's a testament to Coach Andrew Rusk. He works on that stuff every single day. We work on special teams every single day. So the kids do a great job. They love it. It's exciting, especially when we get the effort that we need. And again, that's a testament to Coach Andrew Rusk and the job he's been doing with those guys.
All right, the Buccaneers on a roll, but you got West Brunswick next. What's that going to mean for the Bucks getting ready for them?
Well, defensively, they get after you. They stack the front. They learn a lot of man coverage, so we got to be able to, prepare for that. And then offensively, they've got a tough physical run game that we've got to be ready to prepare for. We had a tough time stopping Topsail, so I'm looking so forward to see the toughness that our kids are going to have to show to come out on top. So we'll see what happens. So it's going to be a tough physical game, I can guarantee that.
Very good. Coach, congratulations on your win against South Brunswick. Another shutout for this past Friday night. All three games had shutouts, and the Buccaneers successful with a 36-0 win. Ashad Yeoman, the head coach of the Buccaneers, good luck against West Brunswick this week.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we'll be back with more of the Sports Roundtable right after this. And welcome back once again to the Sports Roundtable. I'm Tom Lamont, your host, and joining us now is the head coach of the Ashley Screaming Eagles, and Jeff Turner. A tough battle for your team, no doubt. You were at home. It was homecoming, but the New Hanover Wildcats come in 37-0 over the Screaming Eagles. This was a game where you, again, struggled offensively, defensively, played a pretty good second half, but you were already down 30-0. Just a tough game against the Wildcats for you.
Yeah, give Hanover credit. They just came out, and they came out fast. And by the time we sort of caught up with ourselves, especially defensively, and settled down, it was too late. And they just have some great athletes, and I was really impressed with the quarterback on how his release and quickness of getting that ball out and where he needs to get it really got to us. But we continue to struggle offensively. We're working hard at it. Easier said than done, but defensively, we talked at halftime and we said, how are we going to finish? And we challenged their character, and they came out, and I thought they kept fighting, and so that was good. They held them to one touchdown in the second half, and they never gave up. So we have to rebound and come back to practice today.
Very good, Coach. Let's take a look at some of the highlights now for the Screaming Eagles in this contest against New Hanover.
Not enough highlights, but we're getting after it a little bit, and guys getting the ball. I think it's Joe Barbera there, a little foggy. Sort of spreading us out. I think this was a good sack, okay, or incomplete pass. Got some pressure on him at that point. Defensively, we're on the field too long. We need to sustain some drives offensively. And right here, it's good coverage, and then another pressured sort of coverage sack right there. And as you can see, most of the highlights are defense. So hopefully we can get some offense highlights next week. Right here, some more pressure getting to him, but he's elusive in his release. Good job getting him there for a good loss. Or actually, he flicks it out. He's still running, so we're chasing him. I'm really impressed with him, I'll tell you. Just the quickness on his release. You don't see that in high school, where the release is that quick. You don't have time to react. Little hitch to Freddie Thames. Little defense there to tackle him for a loss. The thing I liked about our defense is it's tough throughout the weekend when you don't see them, but when you see them Monday, and you see that they're up and ready to go instead of down and not ready to go, it sort of picks you up. So, we have a bunch of good kids that work very hard. Sometimes we get outmatched, and credit to Hanover. They outmatched us and did a great job with their scheme. I thought this was a great return. They called it back. We looked at it, and it was just a tough call. I thought it was a judgment call, but they said his helmet was behind him, but it showed that it wasn't. But that's tough for the refs to see sometimes. But
let's talk a little bit about offense. Freddie Thames, obviously New Hanover keyed on him. You weren't able to get him really loose in this contest. He had some great success in the previous two games for the Screaming Eagles, so offensively you started getting him loosened up, but New Hanover's defense was able to contain him. Your quarterback got hurt. Is he okay?
Yeah, I think Logan's okay. He got bruised up. He had a contusion to his knee, just a sort of a knee-to-knee kind of thing, so I think he's going to be okay. We'll see how he's running around today. And go from there.
And then, of course, you know, obviously the Wildcats were able to stop you running, and the passing game you weren't really able to do much in the passing department either. As you move forward in these last 2 games that you have forward offensively, again, we're back to the table again as to how do we get something going, not only from the running standpoint, running game, but also from the pass.
Yeah, I mean, it's a continued effort every week, and you know, we have the guys that are lining up and playing O-line, and they've showed some good things throughout the season, but we were matched up, and they were faster than us. I mean, you look on film, sometimes they're moving before our offensive lineman is even getting out of his stance, and so we need to work on that, and we'll continue to work on the passing game and just try to, you know, take one game at a time. But we have to get better offensively. It's really it's aggravating, and everyone's trying real hard, but we may have to, you know, we've tried moving guys from the offense to defense, and you know, that's helped a little bit, but not quite as much as we need. So we'll figure it out hopefully Friday night.
On the defensive side, obviously you mentioned earlier the fact that you made some adjustments in the second half defensively, only gave up 7 points. What was the difference in the second half to be able to stop New Hanover?
Well, I think just getting used to the speed when they first came out. You know, they hit it so fast, and as much as you rep it during the week and work it, you can't simulate what you're going to see with them, and especially the release of the quarterback. And you know, right off the bat, I thought we weren't lined up correctly like we should have been, and they isolated our cornerback on a one-on-one, and that's not a good thing to do with our guys right now, to isolate the cornerback. He ran a deep skinny, got the inside on him, and it was a perfect throw. And so that hurt right off the get-go. The week before, I think Hager did the same thing, but we picked the ball off. So a little momentum. This time we let it up. Last week we didn't. So, you know, they came out fast, and it took us a while to settle down and adjust.
Up next for the Screaming Eagles is a game at Topsail this week. Mm-hmm. What does that give you in terms of your game plan to take on Topsail?
Well, it's two struggling teams at this point, and it's going to be 2 teams that are going to go at it pretty hard. I can see that they probably feel, hey, let's get everyone healthy and give this a go, and we feel really good. So it's going to be hopefully a great contest, and we're going to work extremely hard. The great thing is we have no give up in our kids. They're, you know, just seeing them today encourages me and gets me going a little bit, because they're ready to go. And we have some injuries that, you know, kids are saying, Coach, I have to get operated on, but I told them I want to wait till after the season and play these last 2 games. So the kids have worked hard, and I wish it was different at some times, and we've had some tough breaks, but hopefully we can fight through this and get that win Friday night.
Very good. Good luck against Topsail this week. Look to have some great offensive highlights to share with the fans this week.
I hope so. We're going to try like heck.
Very good. Jeff Turner, the head coach of the Ashley Screaming Eagles. Well, that's it for another edition of the Sports Roundtable. I'm Tom Lamont, your host. Till next week on this show, we remind you to go out and support New Hanover County Athletics. Till next time, again, I'm Tom Lamont for the Sports Roundtable.